Good evening, Bahamas. Coming up tonight.
Government has filed an application seeking to prevent any further building in shantytowns. That story straight ahead.
A public domain poll reveals there's widespread support for a proposed Disney project at Lighthouse Point.
A prison officer was brought before the magistrate's court on drug-related charges.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Welcome to Our News and thanks for joining us. I'm Kyle Joaquin. Government is seeking to prevent any further development of shantytown communities which have been earmarked for demolition. With a legal order standing in the way of its plans to eradicate 9 villages, Jared Higgs tells us government wants a judge to prevent anybody from doing any more building in those communities.
As a group of 177 shantytown residents challenges government, Shantytown Action Task Force, the minister responsible for that group says they're trying to prevent any further building on that land. Following a court injunction preventing government from fulfilling its plan to demolish 9 shantytowns in New Providence, Minister of Labour and Chairman of the Shantytown Action Task Force, Dion Folks, says they're requesting permission to prevent residents of those communities from doing any more building.
The Attorney General has made application to vary the order with respect to the shantytowns to restrict any further construction in all the shantytowns throughout the country. What we want to do is halt any further development or expansion of the existing shantytowns, and that is now an application that the Attorney General has made.
In early August, a Supreme Court judge to the relief of residents ordered all planned disconnections and evictions in shantytowns to be halted. This came as government was getting set to meet its August 10th deadline to demolish 9 shantytowns throughout the island. The number of shantytowns on the task force radar was originally 11. However, the decision was made to spare 2 shantytowns as the unregulated villages of All Saints Way on Golden Isles Road and the bedrock shantytown of Bacardi Road were said to be mostly built to code. With reference to their current application to halt any building, Folks says it came about as a result of reports of building in one of those communities.
We just want to ensure there was one incident off Golden Isles Road that occurred about 2 weeks ago where the Ministry of Works put a stop order on a new construction. And it was recorded in all of your media houses, and that is something that we would want to ensure that there are no new construction until the court comes up with a final order.
In the judicial review application filed by 177 Shantytown residents, as well as a group called Respect Our Homes Limited, the residents submit that government's eradication policy is unlawful, unconstitutional, and motivated by ethnic discrimination. The applicants further argue that the policy constitutes inhumane or degrading treatment, invasion of home and property, prevention of freedom of movement, and unlawful deprivation of property. An evaluation of those 11 villages by the Shantytown Action Task Force revealed that 1,410 people live in shantytown communities. The task force also has a mandate on the Family Islands, with a survey also being conducted on Abaco, an island well known for its large shantytowns in the middle of Marsh Harbor. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jared Higgs.
Still no confirmation of the Prime Minister's claim that there may have been a prison break in Haiti following an earthquake and that prisoners could be headed to our shores. This comes as international media catches wind of the Prime Minister's statements and draws the comparison between his response to this and that of another natural disaster regarding another Caribbean country just last year.
Reports suggest that 85% of buildings have either been destroyed or severely damaged.
It's this moment in Parliament last year that has drawn attention both here and abroad. A tearful minute detailing the situation in Dominica following the passage of Hurricane Irma and how the Bahamas government would assist. The Prime Minister caught heat for it last year with government rendering assistance to another country given the state of Ragged Island. And now a statement Dr. Minnis made on Monday about putting the Bahamas first when asked if the government would be lending assistance to Haiti has caught quite a few eyes. Take, for instance, this tweet from Jacqueline Charles, a correspondent for the Miami Herald who is in Haiti covering the incident. She tweeted, After Hurricane Maria last year, Bahamas Prime Minister Hubert Minnis was quick to offer aid to Dominica. But after Haiti earthquake, he speaks of putting Bahamas first and tells Bahamians he's concerned criminals may be headed their way. She added the hashtag shaking my head. But it's also this statement the Prime Minister made regarding a possible escape by prisoners in Haiti. We don't know whether they are murderers. We don't know what type of crime they have committed. But it's a very serious matter, and we must assume that they have done the most heinous crime, and we must look out for our borders. And I again asked all Bahamians to be very vigilant because they could have a devastating effect on our country. He continued, there is a possibility that criminals may have been released and are traveling towards our shores. But where did the Prime Minister get his information from? When asked if there was a way to substantiate that claim, the Prime Minister's press secretary, Anthony Newbold, said he's sure there is, and that it's the role of the media. International news agency Reuters is reporting that on Sunday, prisoners organized a riot and escaped out of their prison cells, but that their attempts of a jailbreak were foiled by guards and riot police. When asked for some sort of clarification today, Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield told our news team that he received an unconfirmed report from one of his officers in Haiti that a police station in Port-de-Paix was compromised and prisoners escaped. He stressed that his report was unconfirmed. Well, our news team has yet to receive no credible reports of a jailbreak due to the Haiti earthquake. At last report, the death toll was 17, with hundreds injured. Well, Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis has suggested that the country needs to be vigilant in protecting its borders following an earthquake in northwest Haiti that killed 12 people and injured nearly 200 more. The Saturday quake, which was recorded at 5.9 on the Richter scale, sent tremors as far as Great Inagua Island, where residents there reported feeling the effects of the seismic activity. Minnis also stated that government is not considering giving aid to Haiti, stating that he is focused on moving the Bahamas forward and putting the Bahamas first. Well, Immigration Minister Brent Simonett says given those comments from Minnis, loosening of immigration policy in light of the tragedy is unlikely.
I would imagine from the PM's comments, no. The earthquake in Haiti this time was not the same magnitude, if my memory serves me correct, as the one before, nor has it caused the amount of destruction. That was a particularly strong earthquake that left thousands of people homeless, dead, and caused damage to the infrastructure. This one is not of that magnitude.
Dr. Minnis also warned that escaped convicts from a Haitian prison damaged during the earthquake could be en route to the Bahamas. Online news reports indicate that a police station was damaged. However, it is unclear whether any prisoners escaped. Nonetheless, Simonett reiterated Minnis' stance, saying the armed forces, including police and defense force, are on high alert.
The government of the Bahamas has put its various agencies on alert in the event there is a influx of persons resulting from the earthquake in Haiti. Okay, so they'll be increasing their normal border patrol, including defense force, air wing, immigration, police, and so on and so forth.
The numbers are in, and they show a large number of Bahamians who participated in a recent poll support Disney Cruise Line's proposed development at Lighthouse Point, Eleuthera. The poll that was conducted by Bahamian market and opinion research firm Public Domain showed that more than half the respondents support the controversial development. Jasmine Brown has more.
Ramin giving our news team a full breakdown of the numbers this morning, where he also revealed that a whopping 66% of the people who heard about the proposed Disney project also supported it.
The main results that we found is that 2 out of 3 Bahamians support this. That doesn't mean that 2 out of 3 Bahamians know the full scope of the development, but as general rule, 2 out of 3.
According to Ramming, Public Domain conducted a telephone survey between September 27th and October 7, 2018. It was commissioned and paid for by Disney. The Public Domain president gave a breakdown of the poll, saying nearly 1,000 people from across the Bahamas were surveyed.
We polled 994 households randomly selected throughout the country.
Disney is seeking approval from the government to develop the property as it looks to double the number of ships calling on ports in the Bahamas by adding 3 new ships in 2021, 2022, and 2023. The company already has an agreement for purchase with the current owner of the Lighthouse Point property and has said the project will cost between $350 million and $400 million. But there has been a strong objection to the project by some. The One Eleuthera Foundation has spent the last few months lobbying the government for approval to develop a national park at Lighthouse Point. Along the way, they have garnered the support of environmental groups like Re-Earth and the Bahamas National Trust. Despite their objections, Ramming says the polls show strong support for the development.
One can imagine younger people tend to be more in favor of this, and people with lower incomes tend to be more in favor of this.
Those who said they did not support the project were asked what their biggest reason was for doing so. 21% of respondents said they do not support the project because of possible environmental damage. 12% said because of the loss of local access to Lighthouse Point. 14% said the government has already given too much land to foreign developers. 12% said they do not like or trust the cruise industry, and 6% said it won't benefit Bahamians. Raming said since the survey was released, there has been some backlash. However, he insisted the facts are the facts.
Anytime we come up with anything like this, if you disagree with it, you find lots of ways of saying that this is no good. I would suggest stop trying to disagree with a poll and try to change Bahamians' minds to be more like you if that's what you want. But realize that the number is the number is the number. It is what it is, and it's reflective of the entire country.
Reporting for our News, I'm Jasmine Brown.
All right, thanks, Jasmine. Well, Labor Minister Dion Folk says he has received the unofficial results of a strike vote taken by members of the Consultant Physician Staff Association. He says the official results are due tomorrow, and they have meetings planned with the senior doctors to resolve their issues.
I have received an official report from the director, Mr. John Pender, who has informed me unofficially that 66 doctors voted for the strike vote and 3 voted against. I will get the official report from the Director of Labor sometime today or tomorrow, and then we will engage with talks with the Doctors Union. Mr. Pender is actually speaking to the President today, Dr. Monroe, to set up a schedule of meetings to see if we can bring a resolution to all of their issues.
The consultant physicians have complained of poor working conditions, a lack of health insurance, and 10 years of work without receiving a raise. Minister of Health Dr. Dwayne Sands, while noting that he is a founding member of the union in question, lauded the contributions made by consultant physicians to the delivery of health care.
In the metaphor of a chess match, this now moves to an advantage of the union, and I think ultimately the goal is to accelerate the negotiations. You're dealing with individuals who have made phenomenal contributions to the delivery of healthcare. They're the supervisors of healthcare services. They provide most of the insight for the delivery of healthcare, and they have been long-suffering.
Still to come, a corrections officer on the wrong side of the law, plus another escape at the Simpson Penn Center for Boys.